skilled guy can pull that off. Like, the only way you can pull that kind of shit off is if in the beginning it was only a sexual relationship to start. Like, if you're actually trying to start a relationship with a girl and you try pulling power card shit, you're not going to get very far unless...
I really hope that that's not like when you pick up artists and all that.
That's why, well, that's why it was just... He acts like I don't know what he did to Adrian. Like, Adrian never spoke to me. That's why when he tries to sit there and act like he hasn't done shit, I'm like, no, I know what you did. I was like, but you need to understand, I can sympathize with you. I know what it, that being lonely sucks. Trust me, I know that because I was lonely before Adrian. I used to spend all my time just sitting there,
There's loneliness, and then you get to a point where loneliness kind of destroys your soul, and then eventually after that you just accept it for what it is, and that's the thing I got at.
Well, that's...
But the mindset of the team, so I would get it.
Well, that's why, like I said, it's just like I can definitely understand where he's coming from because it's like, like I said, I've been there before. Before I met Adrian, there was like a 2-year, spot where I hadn't dated someone, at least seriously. And the girl that I dated before Adrian was a woman who was very much about position in life, and she just wasn't happy with what mine was, and started to make me feel bad about, my position. Well, because her parents essentially raised her to believe that, if you didn't have a college degree and, make really good money, then you weren't holding up your lot in life. They essentially made her believe that, unless you were college educated and make a ton of money, you weren't worth anything. Yeah, and her dad wasn't as bad as her mom. Her mom was just a shit stain of a woman. And I never said anything about her mom because, I'm not that guy. I don't do that. But her mom was definitely, like, just an absolute asshole person because, like, she was super nice to me, but she always basically treated my relationship with her daughter like, so when are you going to dump him and get with a real guy? Which is something she actually asked her daughter.
As I've gotten older, in order to really entice you, you have to have quite a few things in here. The job's one of them, but you also need, like in Kevin's case, I can honestly say, like, hey, if you want to have a better chance, lose the fucking weight first of all. Clean yourself up.
Well, and that's the thing is,
maybe
it's
put some muscle on.
Well, that's the thing is, it's like for it's not even like lose the weight because there are girls out there that like a chunky dude, like my wife.
I'm just saying, I'm just feeling like
but it right. Well, that's something I've told him too, and I think his ex-girlfriend is trying to impress that upon him herself. It is just, if a girl has the
relationship or dating, you treat them like a partnership when it comes to dating, but you treat them like a person you respect about them.
Well, that's why it's just like, and that's the other thing is it's. Well, that's not looking for sex or dating. He's looking for a wife. Well, that's the other thing is it's just like the reality is you can't on a first date be like, I'm gonna drive you places. Like, you need to meet up with them somewhere first. Like, you just need to meet up, get them out of, get that out of the way. It's like, they have to be able to get to know you to be able to trust you. Because the idea that you think that they can just walk into a situation where they've never spoken to you word one before, and are just meant to trust you, unconditionally. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That's what I was like. I straight up told him the idea that you need to drive them to the date needs to be taken out your mind right now. It's like, just simply put, you need to understand that your first date, you got to meet somewhere. Just period. You got to meet somewhere. Yeah.
It didn't matter the address. Yeah, but it's all about me, and I can't just go over to their place and
Right. Well, that's why it's just like a lot of girls are probably turned off by the idea that you're wanting to take them places. Like, and it's not because they don't want to go with you. It's because if the date doesn't go well, they want a way out. Like, if the date isn't going well, just fucking cut your losses, call it a day, and fucking move along. Well, and it's just like, it's just simply put, you're if you're not giving them a way out, they're just gonna feel stuck, and it just, no, you need to make it a situation where they have a means of getting, leaving if they aren't having a good time. Because it's like, I can tell you for sure, I don't want to be places where I'm not having a good time. It just, that's the way it is. Right, that's what I mean. It's like, you drive Adrian to the fucking zoo. Yeah, that sounds like a great, like, third date.
It's not like I'm coming to pick you up, but we've already established a friendship with time and effort.
It's just like, I know you're doing a bunch of things that you think are like these really sweet things, and that's great, but
it's great, like, after, like,
well, that's what I mean. It's like you're doing a bunch of shit that's like third date shit. You need to bring it back to first date. Like, cause believe you me, like I said, I know I've been in this. I've been there where I've been super fucking lonely to the point where I just fucking.
You have a high sex drive and you don't have a way to release it.
Yeah, it gets frustrating.
I'd say.
But
there are still times when it's like it's just great. It's like a raging around. Like, I don't know what to do. But eventually you learn to manage it and do it. But I remember that pain, that loneliness, just that rabbit hole of depression. And it's a tough thing to escape.
Fucking tank things are faster, dude.
And it takes a while to break out.
Oh yeah.
I think from about 15, maybe even a little bit earlier, but I'd say around from 15 till 26. One of the worst periods of my life.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just trying to get them to understand, I've been there before, so I know what I'm saying when I say this is why this isn't working out for you. It's because you're approaching it like you've been dating for a while, and you're just trying to come up with creative ideas. It's like, no, the first like 2-3 dates, keep it simple. Keep it simple, give them a way out, and except if they just don't want to see you further.
Maybe not my entire life, but definitely. I like to keep them simple, regardless of how complex they might be. I have gotten some black boys, That's like you can
Watch
take
out,
you can
Spyro.
take a
The
complex
dorks in
subject
these pods have
and keep it
discovered the
simple.
power
That
of
way, the kids can
electricity,
understand it.
and it
A
really
lot of that thinks
stinks.
it's dumbing things down. But no, simple does not mean dumbing things
Dumb.
down.
Right.
Like now, if I were to speak to you in a caveman, that's dumbing things down.
Right.
But keeping it simple, that's just it's easy for both for
Well,
anyone.
it doesn't overcomplicate shit because it's like, that's one of the things I love about Adrian. She's very, likes to keep shit simple. And it's just. But yeah, no, that's definitely like, don't ever fucking. I'll pick you up and we can't do this unless I can pick you up. Like, no, like, that might be fine later down the line, but right now, you can't stick them like that. Right.
And you just then after like you said,
Start doing the, extreme dates. You could eat, bye.
I'm gonna make a wrap.
Okay.
What else do you want with it?
Apple and meat sticks, the usual.
I have to stop saying
But yeah. I keep trying to tell Kevin, keep it simple and, to the point. When you keep saying that, well, one day you'll listen, won't you?
eventually it'll come.
Well, it's just like, I'm not saying this because, I'm a smarty pants fucking guy that, thinks I know everything about everything. It's because I've experienced this. I've experienced, loneliness. I've experienced, yeah, right. I was like, I've been on a handful of fucking first dates that, went awful, and I can tell you from experience, it's a horrible idea to try and force that shit. Like, it just...
Nothing can come good when you rush or force.
Right, like...
Almost every single time I've ever tried to force something, it backfires.
Oh yeah, that's why it's like, no, you just fucking just relax, dude. You're gonna get all squirrely and make girls not want to talk to you.
But if you still have this wrong, you might not.
Well, and I just, hey, I met my soulmate when I was 29. It took a while, just be patient, it'll happen. You keep saying that, and I'm 20 whatever years old, and I haven't, met my girl yet. And I'm like, well, fucking, just hasn't happened yet.
This is one of the. I don't know how well it applies to what I can tell, early 20s, there's a reason why they're the hardest to run. Because your favorite throne is like 99% everything.
Well, that, and it's just.
And it sucks to all hell because you don't know. Because on top of all that, you're learning too. So
Well, yeah,
it sucks in every regard. You don't know why, like, you don't know why you don't know why you don't know why how to do it. And I remember that frustration. If you were to see my pictures back before you met me, oh god, my face was like this.
Just angry all the time.
No, just sad.
You go test your sugar.
Good job, Spyro. One day you'll be able to tell all the dragons about your amazing adventures.
Sure, but what I'd really like to do is get out of this swamp.
Huge divide, especially among my friends. So I found out that my friends at the time weren't that great with girls either, even though I made it look like they were.
Oh Lord, I'm terrible with women, and that's what I kept telling Kevin too. I'm terrible with women. I got lucky when I met Adrian, because quite frankly, it shouldn't have worked. Shit. Oh, thank God there's an island down here I can land on. But
anyways, I am kind of grateful for a lot of the habitat, even though it's great.
right.
But the rejection or failing
Well, and not only that, it's just like, trying to get the dude to understand rejection does suck, but you know, so does not being able to tell a person no because they can't handle it, which is what you're doing.
Worse when it occurs to turn.
Oh yeah,
Which that's the new hot buzz word.
oh yeah.
The problem is, I get it, because they're extremely sexually frustrated. That's the main driver
Sexual
for a lot of these guys.
frustration.
And I completely understand that. And it's even worse even. Because like you don't gain anything.
Well, that's why it was just kind of one of those things where it's like I said, it was like, you know, I was in love with her, or thought I was in love with her, or whatever. At that time, I was so goddamn desperate for female attention that, you know, I was willing to accept her cheating on me to, you know, that, and I fell for her bullshit of, you know, I won't do it again. And for the longest time, she agreed to do the whole, you know, I'll show you my phone and who I'm talking to and all that shit, because, well, what should have been the biggest red flag in the world to me was the fact that after I had forgiven her for cheating on me in the first place and took her back, I had found messages on her phone from the father of her child talking about how they were going to get back together and how they missed each other and all that shit. And I'm like, oh, really? I confronted her about it, and she initially tried to act like, you know, I was the bad guy for looking at her phone. Yeah, she tried acting like I was the bad guy because, you know, I looked in her phone. Yeah.
I describe my life.
Because, yeah, she found out after, you know, I caught her cheating, and that, you know, she told him that they weren't going to get back together and that she wanted to stay with me. He finally just looked her dead in the eye. Oh, that's alright, I was only going to, you know, I only wanted you for sex. So, you know, there's that. I'm like, oh, yeah, look who was right. And I'm like, I don't understand why all these people are, you know, clamoring for sex with her. She's not even that good.
Unfortunately,
that really had to be what it was, because holy shit.
I know the feeling, because quite frankly, a lot of guys my age, any guy who's in the you want to get laid because you're sexual. There's just no sex because you don't have anything to rod. It's not just guys.
But yeah,
I've had issues trying to explain that to my mother because I don't know what it's like on the women's side, and I've seen a lot of issues where the girls have all the power and the guys don't have anything, unless you were popular or something along those lines. Well, it would have been really nice if I had a father to tell me all this, but unfortunately my dad was not concerned. In fact, I told Dennis the whole story that my mother had to pursue him. I heard, yeah, it's like,
oh yeah,
hey, you set an awfully low bar that I surpassed long ago.
Oh yeah, no, you best believe I told my wife all about your dad, and, you know, almost not getting to have sex with your mom, because that's just hilarious. You know, it sucks because, you know, that would have meant I probably would have never met you and, you know, found my best friend. But the fact that your dad tries to give you any kind of relationship advice at all, being, you know, someone who almost didn't get to have sex himself, it's like, you need to stop talking.
My uncle is the same way. Not exactly the same way, but it's like you're 20, 26, 27. I'm still 27. Like, do you just not like girls? Are you? I still remember this one. He asked my mother if I was gay because I hadn't had a girlfriend. I hadn't passed laid at all.
No, your uncle's a douche.
It's like, no, I was a virgin until just before I turned 27, and I was going absolutely nuts. It was a horrible scene. And I'm lucky that I had parents because I could have done it, but they wouldn't.
Uh, but yeah, no, Kevin constantly bitches about the girls that fucking ghost him. I'm like, it's because you suck.
Like in Kevin's case, even though I know this may not be a good idea on his end, if he's so desperate for sex, he should
I
literally
don't,
he
I,
should just hire someone.
I don't even know that he's desperate for sex. I just think he's just starved for love.
Eh,
Because he's definitely looking for his soulmate. You know,
I feel like one of the best things for him right now